If you've ever met another human being before, you'd know that they're wildly unpredictable. Unless you're the definitely elected leader of a definitely democratic republic, it's hard to get people to do whatever you want at all times. And if you're the producer of a reality TV show, you know this all too well. I mean, let's say you're tasked with documenting the blossoming love of a couple who just got wedded at first glance. Now, you know that the drama-starved viewers at home want to see some people ruin their lives on the national stage, but instead, they're just sort of getting along. This is fucking boring. No one wants to watch this shit. Don't worry. Luckily for you, there's a range of ways that reality shows have the power to morph reality into whatever they want.
Reality can be whatever I want.
No longer are you bound by the fact that most human interaction is pretty mundane. Now you have the power to force any storyline that keeps the executives happy and the contestants' future job prospects ruined. Here's how.
Sitting on her sweet can, I grab her sweet can. Oh.
The first technique we're going to look at is called frankenbiting. Biting refers to the term soundbite, which is a specifically chosen part of someone's speech, usually chosen for its succinctness or to take their entire speech out of context.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him...
The Franken refers to the story of Frankenstein's monster, where Dr. Frankenstein combines an assortment of human body parts to form a monster. Frankenbiting is basically the same thing, but instead of stitching together disgusting human limbs, we're stitching together disgusting human behavior.
Bitch, if you swear at me and scream at me like...
It's stupidly easy to do, and it's the bread and butter of any reality TV show. This technique can be summed up by simply meshing sentences together to form new ones, typically to drive a manufactured narrative. Take, for example, this promo for The American Bachelor a few years ago.
I want to be the villain. I'm going to take it up a notch.
Notice anything? How about when our boy here says the word villain? It sounds a bit out of place.
I want to be the villain.
It's almost like that's a part of a completely different sentence. It's almost like that because it is. See how easy that was? One Control-C, Control-V from some dude working in Avid Media Composer, and all of a sudden, your otherwise boring and definitely not serious contestant now finds a place as
the villain of the whole series. Will he steal her heart from the nice guys, or will she finally see the red flags? Watch 5 nights a week for the next 4 months to find out, even though we know she's obviously going to go with a really nice guy, but we just need to throw in a wild card, otherwise this show would be boring as fuck.
It's that easy. One thing that's worth noting is that frankenbiting is also used to cut out filler in sentences. Things like ums and ahs that don't really serve any purpose. The Achilles heel of this technique is a little something called inflection. In speech, inflection refers to the specific emphasis and tone put on certain words to convey meaning.
I did not say I ate those cookies. He said it. I did not say I ate those cookies. I might have thought it. I did not say I ate those cookies. I ate the ones over there.
This is important when frankenbiting. It can leave your newly formed sentences sounding, well, pretty jarring.
So important to win this group date and get a rose.
Here's an example from a recent season of The Bachelor Australia.
Ellie is so fake. She's definitely certain of her position as frontrunner in the house.
I mean, they pretty much just said fuck it and stitched like 4 sentences together. Basically, it's not easy to frankenbite dialogue and have it sound clean. Most sentences have a unique tonal pattern to them, and cutting in and out of them will only leave it sounding strange to a keen ear. But that's where our next technique comes into play. What if you took frankenbiting, but instead of just cutting dialogue, you also cut camera footage? Well, this is where things start getting fun. Montaging gives you the power to not only have the option of cutting together a single person's speech, but also cutting together entire conversations, including reaction shots. This is a powerful way that editors spin their own stories in most reality TV shows, and really, if you look close enough, it's pretty easy to spot. Most one-on-one scenes in reality TV feature an over-the-shoulder shot of both subjects. Why do they do this? Because as you can see in this shot, the viewer can't see this person's mouth, which means the editor is free to slap in any soundbite they want. Now, I want to go on a quick tangent here to talk about continuity. In the production of most high-budget films and television shows, there's typically a producer on set who keeps track of shot continuity. Part of their job is basically to make sure that the look of the characters and the surrounding environment looks consistent between takes. This is done to ensure that when stitching multiple takes together during editing, there aren't glaringly obvious changes to the scene that reveal it wasn't shot in one take. In reality TV, you don't really have this luxury. Being that your subjects aren't supposed to be going by a script, Most shots are done in one consecutive take, meaning if something changes throughout your scene, you're kind of just screwed. Have a look at this scene and see if you notice anything.
What will it take for you to kind of,
Time, I think.
how much time?
No idea.
Yeah, right.
No? Have a closer look.
What will it take for you to kind of,
Time, I think.
how much time?
No idea.
Ah, yes, the bane of every reality producer's existence. Food. You can notice this in basically any show that has people eating or drinking, which is pretty much all of them. That's basically all these shows are, just people eating and yelling at each other.
Conversation with you when you think I'm here for the wrong reason.
It's seriously easy to spot how the producers have tampered with a scene if you simply keep an eye on the food or drink that's in front of the subject. In this scene specifically, they've pulled this shot from what we can assume was later on in the conversation, replacing what could have been a less dramatic answer to the question. All of a sudden, they've made this girl look a lot less interested than what she may have been in reality. She just got frankenbitted. Frankenbit. Hang on. Frankenbited. This is something that countless reality TV contestants have spoken out against. Many contestants complain that after the show airs, the producers have made them out to be people that they're not. Many contestants saying their reputations have been tarnished, and even a few cases of the show affecting their job prospects. But what about some other ways that producers can use montaging to force narratives out of thin air? Well, careful editing can also be an easy way to build tension or awkwardness. Love Island UK. England's #2 export for poisoning the sexual awakenings of teenagers. Second only to Prince Andrew.
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, in the sense that...
Take this scene from the most recent season of Love Island UK. In this scene, our host asks the men interested in this girl to step forward. And as we see, they build a whole lot of suspense by not only hanging on multiple shots for 15 whole seconds.
Step forward now.
But then cutting to an ad break. After the ad, they play the scene as it would have happened in real life.
Step forward now.
But by this point, they've already gotten what they need out of the viewer. That is, the lingering curiosity that leaves them attentive throughout 3 minutes of advertising. I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of effort. I mean, why do we have to spend hours sifting through boring footage just to create some drama? Surely there's an easier way. And you're right. We gotta do something soon, man. These contestants are like watching paint dry. I've got it. Get the intern. Intern, take my corporate card. Don't stop driving until you see a store that sells Dom Perignon by the pallet. Buy $10,000 worth and be back here within the hour.
1 hour later.
Attention contestants. Whoever drinks the most champagne wins a date with the Bachelor. That's it. You don't have to hire an editor to do days of work for each episode. You don't have to meticulously filter through hours of footage to find sentences to frankenbite. Just get the contestants sourced and the story writes itself. This is seriously one of the most effective ways of creating drama in a reality TV show. As Big Brother producer Gavin Henderson wrote in a Guardian article, "As a producer, what you're trying to do is get the best 45 minutes of television out of a day. It's a balance between reducing people's inhibitions enough to be entertaining, but not giving them so much that they'll tip over into being unpleasant or fractious." Truthfully, this method has been tamed in recent years. There was an incident on The Bachelor in Paradise 2017 where a producer raised the alarm after some alleged sexual misconduct occurred involving contestants who were intoxicated. As a result of this, a lot of shows such as Love Island have implemented a 2 drinks per day rule. Because, we want our contestants to behave like animals, but when they start breaking the law, it makes us all look bad. From what I can tell, not all shows being filmed these days feature this kind of ban. So if you want to find shows that feature enough social lubricant that they act like this...
You need to have a fucking conversation right now. Hey, dude. Fucking come out here and fucking talk. Dude, just right. Come out here, fucking hero. I'll fucking mess that hair right up.
You can still find them out there. Reality is boring. We all know that we would rather be spending our time trying to get as far away from reality as we possibly can. Why then are reality TV shows so popular? I mean, it's odd when you think about it. Millions of people every day still find the time to sit down and watch real-life adults regress back to acting like cavemen. Make no mistake, without the techniques mentioned above, reality TV would be nowhere near as entertaining as it is. It'd just be hours upon hours of people sitting around talking about nothing. So it's this weird catch-22 situation where, yeah, sure, the TV network ruined your reputation by heavily manipulating your presence on their show, but no one would have watched this show if they didn't do that in the first place. Basically, if you're an avid viewer of any reality TV show, first of all, God help you. Second of all, remember that what you're watching isn't reality. It's heavily manufactured nonsense that's stitched together in an editor's room. Well, they say you're never dumber for learning something, but after the research for this video, I'm not so sure that's true. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go sit in the park now and read a book because that just feels like the right thing to do. Yeah, okay, thanks, bye.